As we age, there's one question that becomes more important than ever. Who will truly be there for us once we hit the 60s and beyond? When you're younger, it's easy to think your support system will always be there. Your family, your closest friends, those are the people you count on. But once you turn 60, reality starts to look a little different. Life changes, people get busy, priorities shift, and suddenly you realize that the support you once thought would be reliable may not be as dependable as you once believed. In this video, we're going to explore 6 essential pillars that can become more dependable than family as you grow older. This isn't about isolating yourself or pushing others away. It's about recognizing where true stability comes from and ensuring you're never left vulnerable when you need support the most. When you invest in these 6 pillars, you build a foundation of independence and security that will carry you through whatever life throws your way. And by the end of this video, you'll feel empowered, confident, and ready for whatever the future holds. So stay tuned, because these 6 pillars could completely change the way you think about life after 60 and how to live it to the fullest. Pillar 1. Financial freedom. The first pillar is the one that truly stands out: your financial freedom. As you grow older, you realize that money, while not the key to happiness, is undeniably the key to stability. Without it, freedom becomes a distant dream. Think about this. We've all heard the phrase, "I'll just rely on my kids when I need help." But when you reach 60, you start to see that your children have their own lives to navigate. They have their own bills, their own responsibilities, and their own struggles to deal with. If you're counting on them for financial help, your setting takes someone like Marianne, a 68-year-old woman who had always worked hard and expected her family to support her in her later years. But when an unexpected illness drained her savings, she found that her children weren't in a position to help. They had their own families to care for, and while they wanted to, they simply couldn't provide the financial support she needed. That's when Marianne realized the most reliable support is your own financial security. The more you can build up your savings, invest in stable assets, and create a sustainable income stream, the more independent you'll be. Being financially independent means not just avoiding debt, but having an emergency fund, knowing how to manage money wisely, and having a clear retirement plan in place. If you're in your 60s or beyond and you haven't yet addressed these areas, now's the time to act. Financial independence is the one thing you can always rely on, no matter what life throws your way. Pillar 2. Physical well-being. The second pillar is your physical health, and this one cannot be overstated. When you hit 60, you're no longer invincible. Your health becomes your greatest asset and your greatest responsibility. As much as we'd like to believe that someone else will be there to take care of us if our health fails, the truth is, most of the time, that person is you. Family and friends may offer assistance, but it's up to you to stay strong, active, and healthy. Think of John, a 70-year-old man who spent his earlier years enjoying life without worrying too much about his physical health. He assumed he would be able to manage the aches and pains that came with age, but after a few years of neglecting his body, he found himself struggling with energy, stamina, and even basic mobility. His children tried to help, but they couldn't be there every day. John realized that in order to maintain his independence, he needed to take charge of his health. This didn't mean becoming a bodybuilder or training for a marathon. Simple, consistent actions like walking every day, eating healthier, and getting regular checkups made a huge difference. Your health isn't something that should be left to chance. Regular exercise, eating well, and listening to your body can ensure you're strong and capable for many years to come. Pillar 3. Building your social network. The third pillar is your social circle. As we age, it's easy to fall into isolation. Friends move away, family gets busy, and before you know it, your social life shrinks. But loneliness, especially after 60, can be one of the most damaging things to your well-being. It affects not just your mood, but also your mental and physical health. Take Ellen, for example, a 72-year-old woman who always relied on her family for companionship. But as her children got busier with their own families and careers, Ellen started to feel more and more isolated. Her once full social calendar was now empty, and she began to experience feelings of loneliness. But instead of accepting this, Ellen made a change. She reconnected with old friends, joined a book club, and even volunteered at a local charity. Before long, she found herself surrounded by a new group of friends and a renewed sense of purpose. Having a strong social network outside of your immediate family is crucial. These relationships provide emotional support, joy, and connection, all of which are vital to your overall well-being. If you don't have a strong social circle yet, it's time to start expanding it. Whether it's through hobbies, community groups, or even online connections, building a robust network will support you as you grow older. Pillar 4. A sense of purpose. The fourth pillar is a sense of purpose. As we get older, it's easy to lose sight of what drives us. Maybe your children are grown, your career has ended, and life has slowed down. But without a clear sense of purpose, it's easy to feel lost and unfulfilled. Take Frank, a 67-year-old man who retired and didn't know what to do with his time. He thought retirement would be the perfect opportunity to relax, but after a few months, he felt like something was missing. His life felt empty. That's when he decided to start a hobby he had always dreamed of: painting. He joined a local art group and began taking classes. Soon, he discovered that having something to look forward to every day brought him immense joy and fulfillment. Your sense of purpose doesn't have to come from a job. It could come from hobbies, volunteering, mentoring, or learning new skills. A sense of purpose is what gives life meaning, and it keeps you engaged, active, and emotionally healthy. As you age, you should always be asking yourself, what makes me feel alive? Pillar 5. Emotional resilience. The fifth pillar is emotional resilience. Life after 60 is not without its challenges. Loved ones pass on. Health problems arise. And sometimes it feels like the world is constantly changing. But the true strength that will carry you through these difficult times is emotional resilience. Your ability to handle life's ups and downs with grace, acceptance, and inner strength. Consider Mary, a 74-year-old woman who lost her husband after 50 years of marriage. The first few months were incredibly difficult, and she leaned heavily on her children for emotional support. But she quickly realized that they had their own lives and couldn't always be there for her. Instead of sinking into despair, she started journalist, joined a support group, and focused on building emotional strength. Over time, she found peace within herself, and she no longer depended solely on others for her emotional well-being. Emotional resilience is about facing adversity and finding ways to cope without relying on others to fix you. It's about acknowledging your feelings, processing them, and developing healthy strategies to move forward. The more you strengthen your emotional resilience now, the less you'll need to depend on others in the future. Pillar 6. Your ability to adapt. The final pillar is your ability to adapt. One of the biggest mistakes people make as they age is holding on to the past. They become stuck in their ways, and the thought of change becomes terrifying. But adaptability is one of the most crucial qualities to have as you grow older. Look at Tom, a 76-year-old man who had always lived in a small town, relying on in-person interactions with his neighbors. But when his friends moved away and the town began to feel empty, Tom adapted. He learned how to use technology to stay connected with his family through video calls, and he joined an online group for people his age who shared his interests. Instead of resisting change, he embraced it. And in doing so, he found new connections, new experiences, and a renewed sense of purpose. Adaptability isn't just about accepting change. It's about seeking it out. It's about being willing to try new things, learn new skills, and explore new opportunities. The more flexible and open-minded you are, the easier it will be to thrive, no matter how much life changes. So there you have it. 6 essential pillars that will stand by you when you need them most. When you build these pillars, you create a foundation that gives you independence, security, and emotional strength. No longer will you have to rely on others for your well-being, because you will have already equipped yourself to face whatever challenges life presents. Remember, true stability comes not from others, but from the foundation you build for yourself. Take control now, and your future will be bright, fulfilling, and full of possibilities. Thank you for watching, and if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.